Hey Instagram crew. So I had this amazing shoulder revolution today while in an Anusara yoga class, and I wanted to share it with you. So before I get into what happened to my shoulder, I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about muscles and massage and how to kind of work out some of the creaks. So for example, if you spiral your wrist, you might experience some clicks around the joint of the wrist. Oftentimes these clicks can come from a tight tendon popping over a bone. So if you then take your thumb and you just kind of go down and you're kind of palpating around, or for me, I'm actually feeling some of those clicks happening at my forearm. Not really a click, but I can just feel a tight muscular band. So I'm going to take my finger there and I'm going to hold my finger in that tight muscular band as I flex and extend my wrist. So this is called a pin and stretch massage. I'm pinning the muscles down with my finger, and then I'm lengthening and shortening the muscles with the movement of my hand, and because of the pressure on the muscle with my finger, it's massaging out that muscle. So you can just spend a good amount of time on your forearm as you move your hand, and when you feel those tight muscles, you pin it down and you do that pin in strength. When the muscles get tight, it can cause some clicking, but then also the muscles, when they're attached to a tendon, they can pull the tendon over a bone, so then you experience that clicking of the tendon going over the bone. And I shouldn't need to say this, but I will, but the tendon or a muscle rubbing over the bone to the point where you're experiencing a clicking, really unhealthy for that muscle. It's like a rubber band getting pulled again and again over some kind of knob, like your bone. Eventually it's gonna wear out. So I'll spend some good amount of time, and I'll do that up the front of my forearm and the back of my forearm, just kind of massaging those out. This will help avoid wrist problems, and it will also avoid things like medial and lateral epicondyle, golfer or tennis elbow that a lot of people who exercise, lift weights, or do yoga experience. So I have another one up here. So this is just a more clear example of how you can work with the muscles with self-massage to help release some of those clickings. Okay, so now on to my shoulder revelation. I have two children. Sage he turned 4 in October, and ever since I had Sage, I experienced a popping in my shoulder. Every time I would rotate my shoulder, I'd hear this and feel this kind of like click that would happen. I think it's because I nursed and still nurse another child, and I carry my babies or my bags. I just always felt this kind of clicking in this shoulder, and so I wouldn't take things as far in this shoulder, and I'd really try to honor that click, and I'd always prioritize good alignment. So the alignment I practice is I lengthen up through my side bodies to create length. I broaden across the collarbones to get the head of the arm bones in line with the shoulder socket. I squeeze the head of the arm bones back, and I draw the tips of the shoulder blades into the back of the heart. So in my opinion, that's just really good shoulder alignment that I've been doing for 4 years, which I also think played a huge role in why this worked. But today I was doing some work with broadening across the elbows, and then widening the collarbones, because the collarbones are going to widen in the direction of the elbows. So this could be a whole nother video of why not to squeeze your elbows in when you do chaturanga, but instead to broaden them out slightly so you can widen across your collarbones and squeeze your shoulders back and those head of the arm bones into an optimal alignment. But so while I was doing some of that stuff and I was rotating my arm, I was getting that damn clicking. And I've been doing quite a bit of weights lately that I think was just making that even more tight. So what I did was I reached around the medial border of my scapula, right in here where like the rhomboids are, and I started to pin it down just like what I did with my hand. And then I'd stretch my arm across and I'd retract. So this is that pin and lengthening technique again. And I came up here, and I was kind of moving my arm around to make it low, and then I found it. It was right here, that little stinker. Hey, Rachel. I found it right here. So I pinned it down, and then I started to move my arm again. So as I'm pinning the muscle down, I'm taking my arm through movement, flexing, shortening, and lengthening that muscle. And then all of a sudden I just felt this like whoosh, like a release. And then I was like, no way could this actually be working. Like, I've had this click for over 4 years. It's not gone, Kim. It's not gone. Prepare yourself. So I kind of worked all the way up into this levator scappy. Oh my gosh, this just feels so good. Worked all the way up. And then after, I went like this. And you guys can't hear it. You couldn't have heard it before, but there is no click. So that's just phenomenal. So just like a little happy dance from my shoulder there. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. I don't think it was just the massage technique. I think if I was living habitually, rounding my shoulders forward, doing my yoga practice or lifting weights with just kind of habitual posture, I'm pretending to do all these habitual things with bad shoulder alignment. I don't think just that pin and stretch would have worked as well. I think it's been this accumulation of practicing good alignment and really aware of it in a lot of my activities. But it's just so phenomenal when you have a click for so long and now it doesn't click. I always do this to my wrist, and I've done it a little bit to my hip, and I've done it a little bit to like my feet and stuff. I never thought to do it to my shoulder. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you're having a good day. If you watched this, thank you very much.